Hey,
And we're live.
welcome.
Welcome. So we're broadcasting to 3 different channels at one time, and it's a good time. So we're like broadcasting to my YouTube channel, Chad's Facebook channel, Chad's YouTube channel, and that's where we're set up. So it's three different places, and I'm new to live stream. So welcome everybody. My name's Liam Jones. This is Chad Leduc and Alan Motta. Is that right?
Yes.
Right. Alan Motta is our guest today, and he's a 16-year-old superstar from Brazil, and he's inking comics these days. So he agreed to be on the stream. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining us. It's great. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for the opportunity. Hi everyone.
Yeah. So I don't have much of a following yet, but when you put the video on the channel, people start watching it, and you never know who's going to see it in the future. So I figure I'm just going to bring my A game as best as I can, you know?
And I'll bring the B game.
There you go. B game is good, man. Don't underestimate the B-side tracks. Yeah. So how y'all doing?
Doing well.
I'm doing good.
I hear birds. Yeah, so
a lot of birds.
So where are you? Where are you in Brazil, Alan?
So I'm in Taim, which is it's not a city, it's a part of Rio Grande, which is a city in the most southern state of Brazil. So I think I'm like 2 hours away. I don't know, like 2 hours away, 3 hours from Uruguay.
Wow. And it's super hot down there right now, am I right?
Yes. Today is actually kind of nice because there's a bunch of wind, but yeah, we're starting summer.
Crazy good. See, it's winter up here. Yesterday, my car was stuck. We had slush the other day, like this wet snow, and then the temperature dropped, and then I couldn't unfrost my windshield, and my windshield wipers got stuck to the windshield. It took me like 20 minutes to like chisel them out, and so that's my life right now. Winter wonderland.
That's nice. It looks pretty from the window. It's like a postcard when you look at the window. Lights.
Yeah. So you live in the country, Chad. Your place is like these beautiful rolling hills and like horse fences and stuff everywhere. It's awesome. Quite the pad.
I'm on the borderline.
Yeah.
So right on the cusp of the sprawling city of Brantford, Ontario, Canada.
Nice. So I met you, Chad, on Kurt Michael Russell's live stream, and we connected because we were both kind of close to the Toronto area in the same area. So we were just like, yeah, let's connect for sure, right?
Yeah, it's been great.
And it's been great. We've been like hanging out quite a bit and drawing and helping each other with our stuff and supporting one another. Kind of the way it should be with artists, you know?
Absolutely.
I think I've been really enjoying this. It's been a cool thing.
And yeah, I'm all about the support of artists and trying to help artists get a start and just basically move the ship forward. There's opportunities, and you can see opportunities to like grow a brand and involve other people. Why not?
So you work with a lot of artists, and you also have multiple titles. Am I right?
Yeah. There's quite a few things that we're working on right now, and for people that don't know, like Liam and I connected, and Liam's produced a cover for one of the Sasquatch brands that we're going to be coming out with in 2022. And Alan is also another artist we've introduced to our brand as well. And he and I have been kind of working on the sideline, just trying to get things figured out and get ready for some exciting new titles that are coming out through Tardigrade Press.
So what title is Alan working on?
He will be working on the biological origin stories for the Silver Sparrow, which another artist is actually doing the pencils. And Alan, I found on Instagram, just kind of looking through and saw some amazing inks and just happened to reach out, and we connected. And he's also inked one of the pieces that Gabe Esquivo did for us for Lacewing, and he popped out some amazing inks. And that was the first job that you'd worked on, isn't it, Alan?
Yes, it's my first paid job. Yeah.
And I can, while you're doing the questions, I can actually show you the inking that he did on this cover, if you'd like.
Sweet.
Right,
Sweet.
I'll bring it up.
Let's see how we can organize this.
Yeah.
We'll do the screen share, yeah?
Yeah, I'll screen share it in a sec here. Which one is it in? Yeah, we'll go like full finished cover proof. Oh, it's saying I don't have enough memory.
I see your screen share. How do we do this?
PNG.
No, not yet. We're working on it. We'll get this figured out.
Oh, I have to screen share right now. So.
Oh, okay. That's why it's not doing it.
There we
right.
go. So
perfect. That's what I was looking for. That's the layout.
Oh, and sorry, there's another page in there that should be hidden.
It's your workstation. I can see it's 1:55 p.m. and you have a bunch of different programs there.
Yeah. So
screen share is good. You can suss out everyone's information, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, what programs is he using? Is he using Blender?
Yeah, but some people have those screen share modes that zoom 20% or something like that, so it automatically cuts every feature off within your program. And
I do that with my OBS. My OBS trims out all that stuff.
Yeah, I need to do some trimming.
I got to figure out, like, I'm sure there's a way you can incorporate OBS with StreamYard, just some technical babble.
Well,
I don't know if this means anything to you guys.
I can hit F in Photoshop and then it just automatically just...
Oh, look at that.
So,
sweet.
Yeah, what you have here is you have Gabe Esquivo, Esquivo art. What is his, like, Gabriel? What's Gabe's last name, Alan? Can you remember? It's not coming to me right now.
I don't know. I don't.
No, no worries. But Alan inked this piece, so he did an amazing job, and I finished it off with some colors and then a title that I added as well. So this is our first encounter, and I was so impressed with Alan. I was like, oh man, I gotta get this guy working on some other books with me. Like, I can see the talent. I can see the desire and the passion. And yeah, I just, would like him to be a part of some of the branding and stuff that we're doing up here.
Nice. Yeah. So this is fairly recent. This is the last, I remember you talking about this, like last month or something? This was when this was getting done?
Yeah, this book is actually kind of one of our lineup books coming in 2022. And there's a few books that we have to pick off before we get to this one. But based on the limited team that we have right now and the limited resources, we're kind of working book by book platform through a crowdfunding platform. So yeah, we're getting
using Kickstarter. Yeah,
we are. We'd like to start using Indiegogo as well, but that is just another learning curve, right?
Just another thing to learn. You got to do it.
For sure.
I figure the faster you learn, the more you do, the more successful you're going to be. But if you're not learning anything and not doing anything, nothing happens, and you stay where you are. Who needs that?
For sure. And I just brought up Alan's Instagram page, and for anybody that may be interested in checking out his work, you can check him out at Instagram. And
this dude needs more followers. He needs a lot more followers.
Absolutely. For being 16 and what I've seen with the inks, it's incredible. So he's taken the advice from some important key figures in the industry, and it's really helped him move forward. So, hey, look at that. There's a little picture here.
Yeah, right on.
I like that. So, yeah, I guess we can kind of crack into, asking him some questions and going through that, and then we can Do you feel better with showing your drawing, or do you want to kind of pick at some of these drawings that you've inked on your Instagram page?
Whatever you guys think is best. I think that inking would be what I would prefer more.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll minimize this. And yeah, do you want to share your screen?
Sure.
Artists being
You never know how the technicals are going to go. Fingers crossed. Sharing stuff.
Can you guys see it?
It's there.
Not yet. Oh, there you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a little bit of a test session, Alan and I. We were probably on for 25, 30 minutes or so. And he was showing me this piece, and I love your line work, and it just in being somebody who loves looking at pen and ink and not being able to achieve the same outcome. I think it's amazing.
This is some good. This is a monster artwork here?
This is Violator from the Spawn universe. I'm almost certain.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, yeah. Can we zoom in a little bit? Can I get a closer look at this?
Do you want to zoom in, or let me turn up the opacity and then I'll zoom in?
I see the Violator now, and there's a hand in the front, yeah?
Yes.
So is this your original artwork?
No, one of my friends, Severio Scofani, he asked me to... He sent me 2 drawings that he had done from the Spawn universe stuff, just like for fun, for me to ink. So this is one of them. Because my printer is currently out of ink, so I can't do them traditionally, I decided to just do it digitally.
Why not?
Yeah, that's awesome.
So let me ask you. Oh, you go first.
I was going to say, just tell us a little bit more about the artist.
Yeah, so I mean, I met him on Instagram, and we like follow each other, and we like each other's art and stuff. So he's also in school. I don't know exactly his age or stuff like that, but he's also in school like me. So I imagine he has to split his time. And his art is really cool. It has a lot of details. He's really good with lines. So it's been really fun. For example, this horn over here, to do all of those lines. I really like doing gradients that are just like a bunch of lines in every direction, instead of just like, especially with digital, getting like an airbrush and doing that gradient like that.
I totally agree. That was one of the things that got me interested in comics in the beginning, was their use of cross hatching, and like it's graphic, like it's a graphic quality as opposed to like full classic style rendering. Yeah. It's the cross hatching is like, have you ever seen Rembrandt's etchings?
I was just about to say etchings. That's what it reminds me of, right?
Yeah, like that. It's a classical technique, but it's been, I wouldn't say co-opted by comics, but it's definitely been like, it's become part of the comic look. And I think back in the like 80s, 90s, it was really used heavily by like Todd McFarlane, made it famous, and then Jim Lee later on as well, and Scott Williams. They started doing a lot of the cross hatching, but it's like, it's been around in artwork for forever, right? Back in the days when they would use silver point, I think it's called, maybe even wood cutting and whatnot. So that classical technique is just looks so good in print, and you can communicate a lot of information. You can communicate contours, different kinds of lighting, and you don't have to have the lines following the contours to give a sense of depth or roundness either. Like, it's a really like cool technique. I think people can explore that for their entire life and still not really even scratch the surface of what's possible.
Scratch.
Yeah, nice.
Hey, Alan, can you do me a favor and just turn down the opacity on the drawing so we can see your ink lines?
Sure. Do you want it completely down, or?
Yeah, just bring them right down to what you'd normally work your digitals at.
What I work on?
Yeah. So there you go. You get a preview of what's left after the drawing, and just gives everybody a sense
Yeah.
of.
So this
Is this Photoshop you're using?
this is Krita, which is a free drawing app, and it's not like Clip Studio's focused on comics. I feel more like it has a lot of comic stuff. It's pretty universal.
I've heard a lot of good things
It's
about Krita.
free.
I downloaded it, but I never actually used it. My friend was all about me checking it out. It's free, right? Am I right?
Yeah, totally free.
I think
Yeah.
I downloaded
Which is
that on
why
my
I like-
phone.
It's great. Like I'm not a fan of the subscription platform for Adobe, even though I love Photoshop and Illustrator. It's just, let me just buy the product. I want to buy like CS6. CS6, I'm happy because that has everything I need. It's got InDesign, it's got whatever. But I mean, are you using CS6? You're using CS6, right, Chad?
Yeah, I have CS6.
And it works fine.
It works fantastic.
Yeah. Now, mind you, I really like the modern Photoshop too. I love all of the features that use the graphics cards, so you can move things around and it's like smooth like butter. It's great, but you got to update things, and there's always problems with the stylus sensitivity and what have you. So there's a lot of issues, but like looking for other platforms, like I use Clip Studio now, and I'm still getting used to it. The learning curve is brutal, but I really like Clip and the fact that it's so much cheaper. It's fantastic. And Krita being free, you can do this kind of stuff. I'm in. Right
Nice.
on.
So what's the resolution you're working at then for this piece and size?
The file I created was just I opened the file that he had sent me, which I think was around 300
Okay.
DPI.
At like 1117?
Yeah, I think he used 11 by 17. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a way to see this, but I don't know it.
Yeah, no worries. And then how fine of a pen are you actually using? Like how many pixels?
I usually, when I do inks, I usually use about 5 to 6 pixels on a. I think it's not a circular pen. Like if I zoom in, you can see that it's a.
Look at that
oval.
zoom.
Nice.
Wow. We were talking about it. He was making fun of me yesterday because I zoom right in. He's like, whoa, that's so far. And like, yeah, I normally don't go much further than 400. That's the recommended like maximum zoom when you're going to do a comic book page. Anything less than 400, you're wasting your time. But I like to make everything perfect, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. And me, I only go in, like I go to print screen, or not print screen, but screen size, and then I zoom in twice, and I think it was around 100% that I was working at. Like I don't go in heavy detail. Could also explain why my line work is so thick. So
I have a prediction for the future.
I'm learning right now.
I have a prediction for the way these drawing programs are going to go. So as the computing power gets faster, I think vectors are going to take over. We're not going to have to worry about like zooming in or digitizing because everything is going to be the way vectors are, which is like mathematical. And so it's just like, if you go look at modern iterations of Illustrator, you have brushes that can do all kinds of effects, and it's all vector, which means that you can blow it up infinite size. There's no size restrictions. You can make it as small or as big as you want, and it's not going to lose any quality at all. So I think within the next like 10 years, I think vector is going to take over everything.
That'd be
That's
good.
my prediction. Hold me to it. I want some money.
We can cast a projection on the moon. You know, we can cast a projection like right on the side of the moon, full blown, full vector image.
For sure. Oh yeah. You know, in Toronto, they have these
moon billboard
art shows. They have these art installations where they'll project images onto walls and on buildings. So people will make images, scan them in, and do all these things, and make sure that they're good enough that you can put them on a 2-story building on the side of the wall.
That's awesome.
And your pen for that tablet that you're using, it's just the standard pen that comes with that tablet?
Yeah, I'm using a Huion. Let me get the box here. H610 Pro V2, and I just got the regular pen, and it's a wireless, battery-less pen, so I don't need to recharge it, which is really nice.
Nice.
You're drawing on a desktop computer, right?
Yes.
Are you using what kind of, are you using like a Wacom, or what's your tablet?
It's a Huion.
Oh, so oh, that's right. You just said that. So
yeah, Huion
is not Wacom. That's like a different. Like, is there a screen on it? That's actually what I'm after. Is there a screen on it, or is it just a black thing?
There's no screen. It's just the sensor.
Just rocking the flat top.
Yeah.
Right.
So then I look at I'm looking at my desktop screen for all of my, like, where my line is.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I have my Wacom. This thing, it's great.
I got one, but my son broke my pen.
Oh no!
Now, I could send you the one that I have, Alan. I just and then I can leave it up to you whether or not you want to purchase the pen. But it's the Intuos Touch 5. It's nice and big.
Oh yeah, that's totally. Mine is Intuos Pro. Wacom
You see all the
Intuos
dust
Pro.
on that thing?
I got to get a Cintiq, man. I want to get like a. Well, it doesn't have to be a Cintiq. Like this make that you're using here, Huion. That's the Chinese name. I've heard of that, and then there's a couple of other ones that are like affordable, actually really affordable, with a screen and everything else, and various sizes. Like, you don't need to go huge. Like, you don't need to go the big one, right? You can go this big with a screen, and it'll do you just fine. And you're not breaking the bank. Like, it might be like 150 or 200 or so instead of like 1,500 for a Cintiq, or however much Cintiqs are, because I don't even price them out. I'll just get jealous. Start hating my life.
We got some people in the chat.
A lot of those are I responded, and it responded from like three different accounts, so I changed that. Oh, my friend Yatsik's in there. Hey, Yatsik.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
What's going on?
I completely pronounced that.
Right? Yeah,
wrong.
there's definitely a learning curve here. And we have Jason Feinstein. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here earlier. And nice. He's the moderator for Kurt Michael Russell streams, and a fantastic colorist and artist himself.
Sweet.
It's very cool.
Absolutely.
He doesn't like being on live streams, though. I tried, but he's like, nah, I'm not into it.
We started small. I wasn't even moderating. I wasn't even watching the sidelines here. I just saw the pop up. But that's funny. I just responded too, and he's still here. So.
Yeah, he's present. Yeah. So, Alan, what is it like being a 16-year-old superstar?
So modest.
It's the favorite question of any interviewer. Is like, I'm just gonna call it like it is. It's like, okay, so when I was 16, it's all right. It's all right. But I wasn't like this. This is unusual. This is unusual. How much time do you spend? Okay, let me ask you some questions about this. So, you started drawing how long ago?
May of 2020, which makes it I don't know, 1.5, a little over, I think, something like that. Like, seriously drawing. Before that, I would just like find a picture and then like straight up copy it. Like, I'd put it next to my paper and then I'd just look at it and copy it, but I wouldn't use the construction that you usually would for like a gesture drawing and then put in the net. I would just like get the line and exactly try and make it exactly like it was.
Right. Yeah, copy from the masters. So have you are you taking art in school, or is this all on your own? Like, what would you say is go ahead.
This is all on my own. Like, my schools in Brazil in general, especially for me that like lives I wouldn't say in the field, but like, more towards a rural space. Schools don't have like, excuse me, don't have any type of like a special program. I'm not sure special programs, but like I had an art class from 6th to 9th grade, but it was very like basic. And like I'm super thankful to my teacher and stuff. Like I talked to him a bunch, and he was super proud when Chad offered me the cover and stuff, because he was always very supportive. Like he was always like, yes, draw more, draw originally, you know, push yourself, stuff like that. But like the school itself, the school program, they don't have any type of stuff.
So you're saying you live in a rural area?
Yes, very rural. The closest like city is an hour away.
Wow. So it's unlikely that you're going to find any kind of art community there where you could do, say, live drawing or anything like that?
Probably
Life drawing?
zero. Yeah, like an actual community. Like I'll have like one person at school that kind of likes drawing a little bit, but it's probably going to be pretty hard to find anything more than that.
Well, with the internet, it's not the worst problem ever.
Yeah.
Like for me and Chad, when we grew up, looking for those kinds of things was a real hassle. I mean, still, when you look at something on the internet or like a printed image, copying from that, you still lose the, like just in the technical terms, you're still losing the parallax, right? When you see with two eyes, you have a sense of depth, and translating that onto your art kind of communicates something that copying from a photograph doesn't. So there's still a lot of like good to be had from actually physically being in the room with a model or something that you're drawing from. So like how you make up for that, or how I did when I was a teenager, because I was too young to do any like nude life drawing. But you could always get someone, just you ride the subway. Like I was in Toronto, so I'd ride the subway and draw people. Or if we were in class, I'd draw someone or draw my girlfriend or whatever. And draw my, like anyone who was around me. Like a buddy of mine would play guitar. Yatsik, actually, who's in the stream. I drew him like a zillion times. His face, his guitar, his hands on the guitar, everything, the posture, the gestures. And that was a huge help, just drawing from life as much as possible.
I was able to score some life drawing at the local art gallery. My mom basically signed me up for some classes at the art gallery, and I think we did some model drawing, but they were clothed, right? So, and you know, that's a completely different realm. So getting into drapery, and it's best to learn the form before the drapery.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I have my music turned off. I'm going to put the music back on again here.
Oh, I didn't even realize it canceled out.
Yeah. Okay. So I got it on loop here. There we go. Can you guys hear that? Or is it too quiet?
Yeah, it's I
There we
can't. I don't have headphones.
Oh, I closed it off. Oh, that's me and my technical. I'm a boomer all the way. Let's get that again.
So what percentage are you working at screen wise?
It depends a lot on the image that I'm working on. But this one I'm working at 100%. But I think the second to last post that I did on my Instagram of that of the sequential page, I was working at 200 to 283.
Okay.
Because it was a smaller resolution. So with this one, if I go to 200, that's like way too zoomed in for me to ink anything.
Yep.
So I go to 100 in this one. I might even do it at 67. So it really depends, but on the image.
Oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to do that. Get
Don't
you
worry,
back on here.
Corrected.
You got it. Gonna sort out how to get the music into the stream without interrupting your screen sharing.
Oh, and I think that was the issue, right? Is the music getting cut off?
Yeah, because of the screen sharing. I'll figure it out in time. We'll make it smoother.
I'll just sing.
Please don't. Please don't. Unless it's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That's my
We're
favorite.
just gonna go Italian opera.
Beautiful.
No, that's usually about the zoom in that I work at is around 100%. I try different options. Like you guys have opened my eyes to viewing the world in different ways, especially Liam when he was at 400% working it close. And I'm
It's
like,
a good time.
yeah. So But I was showing Liam the other day from my beginning of my journey to where I am now, and I think I can see some progress. So, in where I went, but definitely inking is not my strong point by any means. So,
one of the things about the inking that just jumps out at me is the pressure sensitivity with the rendering, right? Like that's what you've got going on there with that main kind of spike coming out the top of Violator's head. Is the rendering has this tapered thing, so it's thicker, closer to the main black area, and then it's thinner as it spreads out. And it's like one of these bad boys, the Fudenzuke pens. That's the one that I learned from David Finch. He uses these all the times, all the time, and it's great. So if you can control the pressure sensitivity with your stylus on your tablet or whatever, you can get a similar effect, which is great. And if you mess it up, you can go over and repair it too. So it's much better than drawing in person, drawing live. More forgiving.
I sent some of those pens to you, Alan, as well.
Nice. They were way too expensive for me to buy here. Like I searched them up, and there were like on an American site, they were like I think $1 or $2 for one pen.
Yeah, they're not much here.
Yeah, they're like super cheap. But for me to get a pack of 2, it costs 80 reais, which is my currency, plus shipping, which is another 20. So that's 100 reais, which I can't really. I'm trying to think of like a comparison for what costs 100 reais, but it's a lot, like of money.
I wonder what's the equivalent to North American currency?
Yeah.
Also, North American, $1 American is about 5 reais, so divided by 5, so $20.
Wow.
Yeah, it looks like it's 0.23 Canadian to 1 Brazilian real. Is that how you pronounce it again?
Real, but yeah, real.
Real. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Right, because you guys don't do R's there. Yeah. So do you, I have to ask you, and this is a stereotypical question, and I apologize ahead of time, but do you like jiu-jitsu?
I'm not really, no, I don't really pay attention to it.
No?
Jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, jiu-jitsu.
As in the fighting?
Yes.
Don't really pay attention to it.
Wow. Cool. All right. See, the stereotype is wrong. Like up around my part, like, because I love jiu-jitsu and I love MMA, fighting and everything, right? So everyone tries to, everyone deals with the whole Brazilian thing in the jiu-jitsu world. So that's actually a thing up here. You know, anyone who walks into the dojo and they're from Brazil or they have a Brazilian accent, everyone assumes they're a black belt and that they're amazing, and that's it, right?
But yeah, I don't do like I've never taken a fighting class in my life.
What kind of stereotypes do Canadians have to Brazilians?
Being really nice.
That definitely doesn't happen.
It's true. Yeah, don't let it fool you. We're two nice guys, but
yeah,
really not nice. Not nice.
Nice. That's it.
Like you drink your coffee without any sugar and cream. I don't know how you do that. What's up with that?
I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee?
Nah.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got the nice guys and the ninja on the line right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love my coffee. Mind you, when I was 16, I had like mocha shakes. There was this restaurant down the road from my house called Arby's, and Arby's is notoriously bad. They have like cheese that is like, I think 1 molecule away from plastic. Tastes like it too. And the only good thing about Arby's was what they had this onion bun that was really good. That was yummy. But the meat was garbage. The cheese was garbage. But they had mocha shakes. So I would go and I could care less about anything else, but just give me that shake that had a little bit of a coffee flavor in it. I was sold, and that got me into it. And ever since then, I'm Mr. Coffee Drinker.
Yeah, I haven't. The very first time I ever had a coffee, I was 17. So, and I know exactly where I drank it. So, like a Williams coffee pub. I'm like, I feel like going to draw. So I grabbed my sketchbook, headed down to the coffee shop. Was wondering what was about this place that seemed to be quite popular. All the teenagers frequent, and I'm like, maybe I'll have a coffee in that. And I was drinking my first coffee ever, and I was like, oh, this stuff's disgusting. Like, why do people drink this stuff? So
It's like, why do my hands shake? Oh yeah, because you've had like 3 coffees. Your hands are gonna shake.
And that is the secret, ladies and gentlemen, is don't drink coffee if you want to ink lines like Alan.
Yeah, you got to be smooth. Drink tea, water.
I just drink water.
It's just straight water. That's good. Quality H2O.
So Alan, so you started drawing a couple of years ago, and now you've been drawing. So how much time do you spend at it now? Like per day?
Well, I mean, I got out of school last Friday was my last day of school. So wait, no, something like that. I've got out of school recently. So I've been spending probably 30 minutes to an hour a day regularly. Although today I'm going to do a little more. When David Finch does his Monday Night Lives, I spend 2 hours drawing. So I would say about an hour a day is my average.
Nice.
Excellent.
And I try and balance it between studying. I've been doing Loomis, his figure book, and inking. Because when I found out about inking, and by found out I mean I got an inking pen, which I had never had, I was like, I need to practice inking so much because I was like, terrible at it. I didn't do it. And then I just stopped doing pencils. And now I can't do a pencil drawing very well. Like I have a really hard time doing pencils tightly because I got so used to doing the pencils super quickly and then just inking over them. So now I have to backtrack back into penciling because
do you think so though? I mean, like, so here's the thing. So what you're touching on now is generalization versus specialization, right? There are so many artists out there that they can do it. They can do everything, but they got hired for one thing. And so they spent a lot of time doing whatever it is they're paid to do. Right. So for you getting into inking like this, it's like, yeah, you want to keep your drawing up as well, for sure. But your inking is like up here. And once you try to do something else, you're way down here. So you have to kind of accept that there's a disparity in whatever ability it is you're going to do. Right. What do you think about that? Are you convinced that you want to become better rounded, or do you want to continue to specialize?
I definitely want to become better rounded because something that David Finch told me specifically and also says generally when other people ask it is it's not I don't know exactly what he says, but the general thing is that it's better to, like, if you want to be an inker, it's better to know how to draw a page and stuff like that, because that's what the bigger companies usually hire. And I mean, there are obviously exceptions and stuff like that, but I also kind of like to draw. Like I like to do something that's my own drawing that I can just put together and then say, yes, I did that totally on my own. So I kind of do want to become well-rounded, to be able to just put a page together easily, which now is not. I have a lot of difficulty doing that.
It's a long road. What do you think about, so when it comes to drawing your own stuff, what are your ideas about? Where do you draw from?
I'm sharing my whole screen, right? You can see my vertical apps, right?
What I see is just Violator and your Krita interface.
Okay, but can you see the like my time or something like that?
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, am I in documents now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So,
I can see Magneto. I see a great drawing of Magneto.
Oh, I see him peeking out there.
Oh yeah. So this is like, I think that's the second thing that here. This is the first thing that I inked, like that I got another drawing and I printed out, just for like reference of how much I've evolved. So like this, like.
That's pretty good.
So wait, is that your own image from scratch?
No, that's Jason. Here,
Okay.
this is Jason Fabok. He did these pencils, and then
All right.
so this was the first one that I actually like got an image online and then printed it out and inked over those pencils.
And that was your first inking, inked drawing.
Yeah, it was my first inking in the sense of that I inked over someone else. Like I drew some OC characters that I penciled and then inked and then colored. But this was the first one that I printed out that I inked over someone else's pencils.
And that's like you actually using a pen in real life, not just a digital thing.
This is pretty much all Tombow, Pentel Arts brush for the blacks, and then the Posca marker for the whites. And this is January of this year.
Wow, very recent, very recent. So, did you show this to David Finch? Was this in your critique?
No, the one that I got critiqued on.
Oh, I have the poster I got hanging in the background.
You got you have this one?
The poster is like right there.
That looks like a David Finch drawing.
Yeah. Yeah. So these are the pencils. So like for me, like I thought that this was like, oh, I'm happy with this. I was able to do it. And then what both him and Robert Marzullo said were the lines. There's a lot of medium lines. And like I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to like argue with them, but I didn't really understand it. But now that I look at it, I'm like, I can't believe that I actually showed this to them, because it's like, for me, this is, I'm not gonna say unacceptable, how little I like it, but like they're way too thick. The lines.
So the thick. Okay, so here, do you want me to give you a little bit of feedback on it too?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. So,
but keep in mind that it's February.
Yeah. Really, it doesn't need that much tweaking to give you the line variety that you're after. So when you're looking, so that the light source is coming from the upper left, and the shadows fall on the lower right. And so where you want the thinnest lines is closer to the light source. So you would have thin lines that will like in the upper left all the time. That's where you would focus on having those. And with some of your hatching too, you'd want to vary up your line hatching a little bit. But the medium and the darker lines work great in the shadows.
Yeah, so they're saying that there were a lot. The words that they said were there was a lot of medium lines.
Yeah.
So then it was just this like area, and then now that I'm looking back at it, I understand that like these were the lines that should have been,
thin,
lighter. And what I did is I just used my 0.4 Posca that I have.
Oh, 0.4. Oh, with your white Posca or black?
No, not Posca. Said it wrong. Unipin, my fine liner. So my black fine liner is 0.4. Is
okay,
pretty much
0.4. 0.4 is pretty thick. Yeah, you'd want to go like 0.005, I think it is.
Yeah, that's
like
what I use.
The finest you can go.
Yeah, I have a 0.003, which is what I was using because I didn't have a 0.05 because it's zero. Wait, I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, you know the one, the super fine one.
I used a 0.03 because I didn't have a 0.05, and then I got a 0.05 recently, and I'm using that a lot because that one gives me a little more line thickness if I vary pressure than the 0.03, but it's not as thick as the 0.01, which is what I had also started using to replace the 0.04. So I can definitely see how I've improved, and I'm happy because I want to improve, so I'm happy that I have.
Yeah, I still enjoy it's a different side of the spectrum too, like for the weight of the lines and stuff. Like it gives it a different feel. So, and that's what you see in many different artists is sometimes their approach is so uniquely different that it creates a completely different style of art as well, right? So but yeah, I get and understand the weight of the line and stuff. I'm still trying to reprogram myself not to be so heavy lined. Like Liam can probably attest to this, that, you know, I am very thick when it comes to line work as well, right? And yeah, I just...
Some of my favorite artists are like, there's nothing to be ashamed about that you like thick lines. Like woodcut, for instance, is like a beautiful medium, and the lines are always thick. So like if you learn how to use it well, like it can be a really great quality. I think what Alan's going for here is definitely like the modern comic look that
For sure.
like was started by Scott Williams inks. He developed out of that whole thing with him and Todd McFarlane, and I think Eric Larson did a little bit too, the guy who did Spider-Man. He was kind of like that moving into it anyway, but it was definitely Todd McFarlane and Spawn who made it super popular. And then Scott Williams had been doing something similar with Jim Lee, and that kind of came out of manga. So manga already had some like cross hatching and different kinds of action lines and stuff. Manga. Everyone says manga, so I started saying manga now. But yeah, so there's like it's been around, and it started in the 90s or so. But I think nowadays, with all the refinement, with like super fine markers and the whiteout and everything, you can take it to new places.
For sure. Yeah, and going back to that traditional etching, plate etching stuff, right, where their line weights are really thin and basically work their nice hatching, adding their depth and contour and everything by their
Alan.
nice
Yeah, for sure. Alan, have you ever seen Mobius?
No, I don't think that.
So Mobius, can I screen share?
Spider-Man's villain.
Let me screen share for just 1 sec. And meanwhile, you can queue up something there, okay? I'll just be a sec, okay, Alan?
Sure.
All right. So Mobius, that's good.
And then the music kicks back on.
yeah, because it's playing for me, because I like to have my jazz at all times. So
you got to drink your coffee and play your jazz music.
Absolutely.
I can't control my hands.
So this is the kind of thing that Mobius does. I'm going onto some random site. I don't know what I'm actually clicking on, but this is his style. You're not seeing a lot of rendering here, but he does do rendering on like rock formations. One of his biggest things is that he loved the Arizona desert. He's from France, but he came over to America as a kid, and the desert made a really big impression on him. So we started doing everything with these desert scenes and dunes and rock formations, and he would use one of those nib pens with like a dip pen, right? And very consistent line. He would never, like, the line quality wouldn't vary. He always, like you can see here, the line is very consistent, right? But it's a very fine line, and it's very minimally rendered, so he would be able to work really fast. But as he got into the darks, he would start doing some rendering and texture and stuff. So that's an example of someone who doesn't have a lot of line variety, but it still works, like a lot. Works very well. There we go.
Sweet. I like that that show and tell moment.
Right? Keeps it interesting. Mix it up.
Absolutely. And I think one of the people that I paid attention to the most when I was trying to learn how to do pen and ink and stuff like that when I was younger was MC Escher, and watching him do a lot of his rendering, right? So paying attention.
Love Escher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was a teen, he used to be so mysterious. I was like, mathematics, geometry, it's amazing. Yeah. And then you get older and it's like, it's still good, but it doesn't hold me like it did when I was younger. I think you can kind of figure that out. Like if you look at Kim Jong-gi nowadays, the way he uses wide angle, and the way a lot of people are like going into that camp. Do you know who Kim Jong-gi is, Alan?
No.
No? Oh yeah. Like I could like share artists forever, but I would bore you.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like.
Liam does a lot of show and tell with me, and I have no idea who he's talking about most of the time.
I love it because I'm all over the place. I'm always looking at other artists to see what's happening, right? So I discovered Kim Jong-gi a couple of years ago, and he's the South Korean artist, and he does a lot of stuff with brush pens and like just real drawing in front of people on a giant piece of paper in front of crowds. He would be at comic conventions and would do that. And then he just started gathering a crowd, started getting a following that way. He has an incredible memory. And why did I bring him up in the first place? Probably line quality.
Yeah.
Because Escher. So he started using really extreme perspective, and from his head, mind you, without any technical line drawings, no support drawings, just like straight to the point, with these brush pens that are very unforgiving, and it's incredible to watch.
Let me grab my army knife and we'll do a critique.
Your army knife? How so? What are you gonna do with an army knife?
I'm just making a joke. Who's that one guy that always talks with his mic on the army knife?
Oh, yeah, Ethan Becker.
He did a critique of his work, didn't he?
Kim Jong-gi, fixing Kim Jong-gi's art. Yeah. That was great. It's good stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so he's a big time influencer, Kim Jong-gi. Everyone talks about him. And
I think I recognize him now. I think I've seen some Proco videos that show up.
Yeah, that's where I found out about him, was Proco, and I saw he put something with like Kim Jong-gi sitting in the throne from Game of Thrones. So he's like the king of art, right? And for good reason. He's a champion. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Kim Jong-gi is a guy. So here you are working on this Violator. So how much would you say you're influenced by Todd McFarlane?
Very little.
Very little.
I barely looked. I don't think I've looked at what he's doing now, like what he's inking for like the new like Spawn stuff, and it's awesome. But I've never looked at his old art, like the Spider-Man stuff, which I know people talk about a lot. Never looked at it.
Who are your favorite artists?
David Finch and Jim Lee are the ones that are obviously like standing out to me. Like I have a whole Jim Lee book. It's 12 editions. Like it's 12 monthly comics, but in one book. So it's a lot of content for me to go through. And I bought some of his old stuff that he did for Fantastic Four in the 90s.
Nice.
In David Finch, I think that I'm more of a fan of David Finch because he has the YouTube channel. Because like I have a Batman book of his, but I only have one book with his art in it. Like so, I don't have a bunch of his stuff collected up. But he just started doing the YouTube stuff, and then I started looking at his stuff, and it's really what I'm basing all of my original art on.
Nice.
I remember being your age, and when I would get a book or any kind of new thing, that would be the one thing that I would look at, and I would study it for like ever, and I would obsess. Maybe I'm partly, mentally deranged or autistic or something. Like, but that focus, I think, you get a lot out of that. Like that book. So how special is that Jim Lee book to you?
Pretty special. Like I remember that was when something that I do remember was it's like a special edition. So each cover but like each time that it goes from one monthly comic to the other, it shows the cover of that book, of that comic. And then on the other side, it has the pencils. So like I looked at the pencils, and then I would look at the colored version. I would be like, wow, I would like to be an inker. It seems easier than having to draw the whole pencil stuff. So, but like I never did anything. I never looked into it, and I had no idea how it was done.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty special because that's the thing that I remember thinking of. Like, I want to do inking.
Liam's looking at your stuff going, I'm going to get this guy to ink some stuff for me. You can see the big smile on his face. I
got to get the cash together. The thing is, it's like I want to hire artists really bad. And I just don't want to spend the money. I'm too cheap, That's my problem. Is like, I can do this myself. But then you never get anything done. So you have to farm things out, and you have to put the money out there. It takes money to make money, right?
Well, I'm a big fan of farming in general, right? So like from the land to the paper, I'm a farmer.
Yeah. I'm going to be farming out probably the inking, and I'm going to farm out the lettering and editing. I'm going to hire an editor as well.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got to happen because if I do it all myself, it'll never, like, I'll be slow. There are a couple of artists I know that do everything themselves.
Yeah.
I could name drop, it doesn't matter, but people do it. There are comics that happen, everything. Yeah, well, you do it. Yeah, there's only a couple.
So
Todd
Spielberg,
McFarlane started it for a while with Spawn. He would do all these things himself, but now he farms it out. Like Justin Tan, I think is his name. Do you know who that is? Tan.
Nope.
Yeah,
I know
he's
Philip
like a
Tan and I know Billy Tan.
Philip Tan. That's his name, Philip Tan.
I only know Justin Beige.
I'm confusing him with a guy I grew up with, Justin Tan from when I was a kid. But yeah, Philip Tan is an incredible artist. His Spawn cover, the one where Spawn is like, is it Spawn? The gunslinger Spawn. He's on top of a pile of dead bodies with his like knee up, and he's that cover, that comic. If you get the original of that's going to be worth something someday.
Yeah, I picked up all the King Spawn covers with Finch's cover as well.
Oh, I did remember that.
It looks good.
Nice.
But like you guys were talking earlier too about the development, I'm trying to be fully rounded as well. So I'm building everything at the same time, trying to work on lettering, trying to work on inking, trying to work on coloring, trying to work on drawing all at the same time. I know the progression of growth is a little bit slower, but I want everything to be up here. So I'm just learning right now, just by watching you draw this right now. It's inspiring me to readapt my inking style.
Are you going to start using Krita?
Start using Krita? No, just with going with a finer point and trying to get into more. I love using traditional crow quills though. Like I love the feel of the drag of the nib on the paper and the resistance, and love it. So
I need to get some crow quills. I want to try those.
Yeah, they're.
I've been looking for a C6 to do some lettering with. I got the C5 and I got one higher than that, but the C6 is like the main one for doing like proper lettering on a 11 by 17 paper.
I got some old ones from like the 1900s, like because my friend's mother was an artist in the early 1900s, and she had all these nibs from way back when, and they were handed down to me. And I don't know, they're somewhere around here. They're in the desk of magic. What was it, a C6?
Yeah, C6 nib. They were out of them on Amazon, and they were out of them at my art store.
I might have them, and then I can give you my atomizer.
Woo,
I'm
atomizer.
all about sharing. And if
sounds so fancy, an atomizer.
I can ship you some crow quills, Alan.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, this is my Bible right here, right now. This is what I'm looking at. It's with me all the time. Yeah, so an atomizer is just good for like getting a misty spray, yeah?
Yeah, I had it around here somewhere. I think I had it on my desk.
I use a toothbrush, man. I use that toothbrush. Get that Simon Bisley style.
This is for, it's almost used like an airbrush, but it's like you control the airflow with your mouth. So it's like a straw. There's two parts that come together like a 90-degree angle. One drops into your ink, and then the tube's controlled by blowing through it. And with airbrushing, you can control spatter, you can control gradient. But some people are so good with an atomizer that you'd swear that they're using an airbrush, because they'll use like masks and other things, and then they'll just go like, but it's just one of those tools that you can use without having a compressor or anything advanced, but you could also get some pretty interesting techniques.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
so you had said that it was Philip Tan?
I believe it's Philip Tan, yeah.
Do you recognize if it's this style? If it's this?
That looks like him.
Yeah, he's
Mind you,
he's
he's tends to be a little bit more dynamic. Like I'm used to him doing these like really like flying in the air type poses, but I'm pretty sure that's him as well.
That's some amazing energy around Thanos there.
It's crazy. Yeah, he's good. I really like this one because there was a lot of like just lines, you know, like I had said that I like the gradients with a bunch of like just like lines in every direction. So this one jumped out of my attention. But yeah, the way that, like he used to do videos on his Instagram, like time lapses of him drawing, and it's crazy. He just does all these like energy or fire or something like that, and it's just like it's super quick and it's crazy.
I love his Instagram. His Instagram is great. Do you use Instagram a lot, Alan?
I try. The thing is that the way that I'm set up to do stuff, I have like a limited time and I have to do some other things before I can do it. But I definitely try my best. I did Inktober, so I was able to post every day during that.
Oh, you did Inktober? Wow, I totally wussed out on that this year because I was working on my comic, but I wanted to do it so bad. Go ahead.
I totally did Inktober, but it was just inking my own pages.
If I did it, I want to follow the prompts and just do it super disciplined, you know, regimented. If you don't get it done during the day, you don't go to sleep until you do your drawing, or you wake up extra early and fit it in there, you know.
I'd like to do an Inktober that's just focused on bounty hunters or Mandalorians.
Nice.
A good time. Yeah, definitely.
I bet you could find a list with that. I mean, I know that people make a bunch of like custom Inktober lists.
I just bought a Boba Fett card illustration today off one of my buddies.
Nice.
Yeah. Just contacted him. We're going to connect on Friday. I could get to go pick it up. And then I asked him if he'd be in if I commissioned him to do a series of just Mandalorians on cards. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
It'd be amazing. The thing about like Mandalorian and all the armor stuff is, for me anyway, what makes me nervous about it is all the perspective. Like I want to have everything rendered like well, viewpoint and structure of all the armor and everything. I don't like when perspective is off. Drives me insane. I get a little bit OCD about it.
You get ACDC.
The Mandalorian is all about that tech, man. It's just like ACDC. Yeah, I get ACDC about it.
Yeah, you probably go nuts when you look at some of my perspective, though. I'm sure, because I'm just
you got a pretty good intuitive sense of what's going on, though, man.
I'm just kind of like, yeah, like, but I want my perspective to have like a looser, more organic feel to it, opposed to a very like hard. Like I in high school and stuff like that, I used to spend a lot of time doing drafting and that, and a lot of it was, I think there was a 2-point perspective and a 1-point perspective with some of these drawing grids I used to use, and I found it very like technical, desk, rulers, like all the stuff all those little things that you have, right, for drawing. And I had all those tools at one point in time because I inherited them from my grandfather and other people as well. Wow. And over the times, they've just dissipated, or I've lost them. So, yeah.
That's sad. Oh my gosh.
Like
I spent over $1,000 on my drafting supplies last year.
That's crazy.
They're great. Yeah. So when I was in high school, I thought that perspective was kind of simple. I thought it was simple, and then my friend went to Sheridan, and he started showing me what he was learning in this art college where like Disney would come and source out people to become animators and stuff. So it was a pretty renowned school. And well, you went there, right, Chad?
I did.
You went to Sheridan.
I am a
so
Sheridan
you know,
graduate.
Yeah, Sheridan's like legit, right? And so is Ontario College of Art and Design. So I started seeing perspective like done real, where you draw like an ellipse, for instance, right? And you just draw like a circle or an ellipse from an angle, and you're like, oh yeah, that's easy. It's like, no, it's not. You like draw a sphere in perspective, draw all the details, like draw like a probe, like a robotic probe in a sphere to make it realistic, and see how easy it is. and how like high level you have to be in understanding of how perspective works. It's ridiculous. It's tons of work.
Absolutely. And those are the things. I'm still trying to work on my own craft, right? And I got friends that went to Sheridan as well, that I grew up with, that I went to high school with, and now they're working in like businesses where they're national defense building, like tanks and other things like that, and drawing them in perspective, and that's all they do day in and day out, right? So
it's amazing. What a cool. There's a couple of things I follow on Instagram, like just with mech, and where they're drawing spaceships and robots and androids and everything, and it's like crack for me. I'm watching that going, man, I would love to draw robots all day long like that. Like there's one guy I follow, he designs Star Trek spaceships for the video game.
nice.
So he's always posting these amazing versions of the Enterprise or these different kinds of classes of starship, and it's all ellipses and it's all just beautifully rendered. It just makes me, I love it.
It's amazing to see people that are really good at it, like no question about it. So I just have a different approach and a different feel about perspective. And
You're a storyteller. You know, it's like what I'm going for is, first of all, to be able to communicate the idea, get that down, right? So you have to have good writing. That's where it all starts. I think every artist is a writer first. So reading books and kind of getting used to communicating and telling a story. It's like, regardless of whether you're a classical painter or a comic book arter or comic book illustrator, whatever, it doesn't matter. Storytelling's key. It's like, it's the main thing, right?
that's
And then your craft comes afterwards, and then how well-rounded you are, whatever.
that looks pretty amazing. I liked watching you pull some bigger lines there. So what do you adjust your nib to then to start pulling the fatter lines? You bump her up to a 15 or so?
This rendering right here, I did a 10, but I think that's the highest that I go. Like this was just normal, like I just press harder. It's probably not great for my tablet, but and I should probably alternate the stuff more. But usually I don't go thicker than a 10.
Okay. That's awesome. Here, I want to show you the Boba Fett card that I purchased today, just because it's all about ink and all this lovely art stuff that we love to share and collect. And there it is right here.
Oh yeah.
So
nice.
He's hiding back there, but he does playing cards that get featured in tops, so they get submitted into their collections. And when you buy a pack of the playing cards, or not playing cards, but just cards, you can get original illustrations in your packs. So,
Look at that collection of Copic markers.
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah,
That is no joke.
hiding under there. Yeah, just don't leave the lids off. They don't dry out in the night.
I have one.
Man.
Yeah.
They're like $4 each or something, eh?
Where's your stream? It's all like card things. Oh no, it's right here.
Hold on. I added him. Add to stream. He's back.
Okay.
Oh wait. What happened?
Yeah.
What is this? Why is this happening? There we go.
It's
All right.
the Matrix messing with us again.
Let me show you what I'm working on here, okay? I'll see, Alan, see if you like this.
Here comes the jazz music.
There's my jazz music, yeah, which has been going on the whole time for me, by the way. I'm just grooving out to this. This is my friend Yatsik's composition. Well, it's not his song, but his arrangement. Anyway, so this is page 1 of my comic. So this was the city that I worked forever on. This was a couple of days' work to do that. There's a bunch of references. This is based on the building from Dubai. Then I have my own little like scout ship here, and then we have the Avengers Tower up in the back here, and somewhere else there was a CN Tower version. Different. So there's references to different kinds of things, but those were the main ones.
Yeah, it looks awesome, man.
And there's jokes all the way through it. Very inappropriate jokes sometimes. And this is my callback to Back to the Future, because it's a time travel story.
He's got
That's
the
him getting-
DeLorean.
That's right. But it's a space car DeLorean that flies up to the space station.
I like the space station. I like the backgrounds. Everything looks
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I think what I've been focusing on is the lettering, and there's different schools of thoughts about the balloons. So I think the balloons are a little thick still. I'm gonna make them a little bit finer in their line, and the text is a little big as well, just a little bit. But for the most part, the faces and expressions. No, this is a font. I got the font off of blambot.com. I have a bunch of fonts from the internet now. But yeah, I've been drawing on my own. I'm just not up to snuff yet. Like, I couldn't do this well enough. I'd have to go over it and over it and over it. It would take forever.
Execute.
Yep.
I'm the guy that just goes for it. Whatever comes out, if I can just go for it, I know the refinement will come with time and pages, and like I'm close to 100 pages in the last year, so I'm starting to get there.
You've been cranking it out. Yeah. So this is my attempt at a spaceship with robotic arms going out and building it. And you're looking at this from inside the space station. And this design for the spaceship took me a while. It's a lot of different references in here, different source materials. And then there's my robot.
You know what the robot looks like? And I was watching Attack of the Clones the other day. Is the server bot in the restaurant where he meets the dude who tells him that it's a saber dart, like a Camino saber dart.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, you want any more Java juice?
Well, a couple of my iterations of the Android were just ripped directly from Star Wars.
Nice.
And I couldn't do that. So I had to like draw back, come to my own thing, and then think of what this robot is about in his design. So again, back to storytelling, right? It was like, so what is he about? What are his powers? What's his abilities? What's he designed for? Form follows function, I think is the term.
I think I'm hanging around with two master inkers, and you guys are both exceptional inkers.
Right on. Oh yeah, so we're back to your screen sharing.
Yeah,
you're watching the StreamYard too. There we go.
Again.
There we go.
Based on time, how are you doing for time, Alan?
Let me ask my mom just really quick.
Yeah. I know he's getting close to, like, he could commit to a couple hours or whatever, or like I said, it wouldn't be too long. It's already an hour and 13 minutes, so
I'm feeling the call of getting back to my comic book. We could do a live stream where we just do work. We could transition to that.
I need a breather where I need to just kind of go outside, walk around, get the dogs, recenter my brain. Although I haven't been working, so the concentration's been a little different. So
right. Now my coffee is definitely kicking in, and I'm in the mood to make some art.
For sure. Like, and I think we're at that point now where we have our very first main live stream. Did we have Bob on an actual stream? Was it an actual live stream or not?
Not yet, no.
Okay. But this is our very first artist live stream then. A third-party artist outside of just you and I.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, this is happening. Like, it's actually slowly but surely.
Yes. The canoe's been pushed into the river and we're going downstream.
Yeah. My YouTube following is like one person here, two people there. Eventually, I think if I keep it up, if I can post this video today, I'll post this live stream and another video that I've done about lettering, and just keep on cranking out the content and make it specific to comics. Hopefully things start moving, but right now I'm not even at 200 people, so I don't have much of a following. So thanks so much for joining me here. This is great. I really appreciate it.
That's pretty awesome. I think Alan might be
he's checking with his mom.
I think
I'm back.
the
I'm back.
He's
max
back.
we had was like four people watching our live stream today. Woohoo! We're breaking records today.
Nice. Yeah, it'd be nice if I wouldn't trip over my words so much, but in practice, right? You just got to keep doing it, and eventually you get better. I'm 46 years old, and I'm a kid at heart.
You know what? I think we've made some strides today. We haven't been jumbling our words as bad as sometimes before. Surprising enough, we actually know how to speak English, but sometimes it doesn't seem apparent.
Speaking of English, Alan, you're English. You have zero accent.
My mom's American, so
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Yeah, it's an honor to talk to you and to meet you. Yeah, it's great.
It's been a pleasure. It's been amazing.
So time-wise, my mom said that there's no real rush, so I'm not stressed for time or anything.
All right. So Chad was saying he's feeling like he wants to go outside. I'm gonna keep drawing, and I'm available online if you want to hang out online virtually. I've got a Discord started, but I've never used it yet. So usually what I do is I just go on to like an offline StreamYard and just hang out with other artists and draw. That's the way I've been doing it.
There's a Discord?
Yeah, I have a Discord. So there's the story here, real quick. It was an Argentinian writer I met online through one of these forums, live streams or whatever, and he set me up with a Discord. He put it all together, so it's all in Spanish, I think, with everything, and it's a whole Discord layout with him and me.
Nice.
It's awesome. He's a real good guy. He looked over all my writing and critiqued it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have a Discord membership. What am I talking about?
Discord's great. Discord is fantastic. Do you game at all? Alan, do you game?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm too lazy to edit drawing videos, so I've just been uploading video game videos on my YouTube.
Fantastic.
I
game a little bit, and I've been looking forward to uploading something, but I don't know like about copyright or whatever. And the games that I play, like I play Hunter Call of the Wild, and I play Far Cry 5, these kinds of things. I don't know how friendly those are for making videos.
I think that it's like, I think the biggest problem is music. Like I put up mine and I do racing games. So then I put up mine and then all of the music gets copyrighted claimed. But it doesn't really matter because I don't get money from it. So all that would happen is all the money goes to the artist instead of to me, but I don't get paid. So not a problem.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hopefully we can do this again. I would very much like that. It's great.
Absolutely. I do have a lineup for the artist who's doing the pencils, Philip. Once again, I don't want to pronounce his last name. I seem to kill everybody's last names. So
it's probably a Gee. It sounds South American.
Yeah, for sure. And like he's good for the 29th and also coming up in January, the beginning of January, we're going to have a special guest who's going to be coming on live stream as well.
Hold on, let's work that out. Because the thing is, what I found is when you start like putting it on a live stream, who's going to be the guest? They end up like, you get all this stuff. So it's better to keep that on the DL and just all of a sudden, you get whoever it is you're trying to arrange with onto the live stream. Believe me, trust me on this one, Chad.
Well, I'm just kind of ironing out some dates, but I have this is the time and date he set aside for it. So
that's awesome, man. Let's make it happen. I want to get guests on here. I want to get guests and start interviewing, get my skills up so I can actually interview, like A-listers at some point. So plugs. Let's plug. So Alan, what are you working on these days? Is there anything you want to plug? Your YouTube channel? Projects you're doing, Instagram?
Just my Instagram. That's all that's like what I'll be active on the most.
Is that a goat?
Or sheep.
Oh, sheep.
That's so cool.
Nice.
Wow. So we'll post your Instagram in the description on the video, and Chad,
also YouTube, I guess.
Your YouTube, yeah, definitely your YouTube. Yeah, man, you got to get some drawing videos on that YouTube there. Get that happening. I mean, gaming's awesome. Gaming will bring you people, but we got to do some art. Maybe get some shots of your sheep in there too. The sheep wants to be on YouTube.
She's right at the door.
That's hilarious. She wants a heart, man.
What a life. What a life. It's amazing. All right. So, we'll put your Instagram on there. Chad, what do you got? What are you plugging, bro?
I would just go with the general streams like Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Those are usually my avenues to reach out to people. So, but yeah, I'm extremely grateful to have you on the stream, Alan, and to listen to you talk about your artistic journey and talk to us about how you create your amazing inks as well. Like this has been awesome, and I really appreciate you setting the time. We basically dropped this bomb on you pretty quickly, and
you responded. Yeah. So cool. I just want to put it out there. I'm available to you guys if there's anything I can do to help you out with what you're doing. I'm available. I would like to help. Like sending our supplies down to Brazil, that's doable. That kind of thing. Live streams, help with technical stuff, whatever. Just hook me up. I'm your friend. That's what's up. We're here. Yeah. So my name is Liam Jones, and I go by the moniker Liam Jones Artist on Instagram and YouTube. And I'm trying to start following there of drawing tutorials and my journey making comics and getting into the comic book industry, trying to tell my sci-fi stories. And I've started a comic company called Spin Kick Comics, but that's a ways out yet. So I just want to finish up my own comic first.
Sweet. And
there we go.
It will be.
All right. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right. Bye now. And we're ended.
We